Oh well, hello Aquarius, how you doing? I hope you're well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Madam Butterfly, and we're going to do a general reading for, like, you know, March, April. I'm just going to keep pulling cards and see what comes out. It's probably going to be quite a long reading, but you know, you don't have to watch it all at once, right? You can watch it in little bits or whatever. You are so welcome here. You know, whether you are one of my lovely subscribers or you're new to the channel, you're very, very welcome here. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to check out the reading. I appreciate it very much, and hopefully it'll resonate with you and you'll enjoy it and you'll find it useful, Aquarius. And if you do, and you know, if you feel like liking and subscribing for me, I'd appreciate that a lot as well. You know, it really makes a big difference for me. And okay, I'm just gonna reshuffle that one because I feel like it just needs reshuffled. Right, let's see. Okay, you have the giraffe and the dolphin. That's interesting because, okay, and let me just get one more. I feel like there's one more to come out. Yeah, okay, cool. So you have the giraffe, the dolphin and the goat. So the giraffe talks about aspiring to higher knowledge and wisdom. See how his little, I don't know what you call them, and I'm gonna say antenna because that's what they look like. I know that's not what they're called, but see how his little antenna are kind of reaching up into the universe. It looks like he's receiving downloads of information. And you also have the dolphin here. Live joyfully in the present. But what I was thinking about the dolphin is the dolphins are actually the wisdom keepers of the planet. They're actually the ones that hold like all the wisdom of like the ages, and the whales are actually there to help protect them. So I really feel like you have a lot of wisdom here, like you have a lot of knowledge. And you also have the goat, act from your innate wisdom. So you have 3 cards here about wisdom. And the thing about Aquarius, like, one of the reasons, you know, you've been born under that sign is because you're actually seekers of knowledge. That's your job. It's one of your jobs. More so than, because Gemini are quite like that too, but I would say Aquarius are kind of more serious about it. Like, Aquarius are more, especially because we're coming into the age of Aquarius, or we already have, you'll probably notice this has been triggered since about, I guess it was like last year or the year before, I can't remember. Time goes so quickly these days. We actually went into the age of Aquarius, so you may have been noticing that you've been actually seeking out more spiritual information, specifically spiritual information, and like kind of how the world is working, like in terms of maybe like, I don't know, you know, the underbelly, right? How it's really working. But also like spirituality, like knowledge about spirituality. You may have noticed you've been investigating your past lives or getting in touch with your guides or something like this. You're reading kind of more esoteric books. And that's because that's one of your jobs. You're here to seek out information. You may have been noticing that you're kind of delving more into, like, I don't know, you know, things like the pyramids or like Machu Picchu or something like this, okay? So at the moment, I feel like this is what you're still being guided towards, because you're kind of the knowledge keepers of the world, basically, like in those terms. So with the goat here, act from your innate wisdom. You may also randomly, some of you may have been studying more about ancient Greeks, like you may have been reading more ancient Greek philosophers, or even like the Greek plays like Aristophanes and things like that, because they are social commentaries at the time and they are still kind of relevant today in many ways. Like Lysistrata, for example, talks about feminism. So some of you may have kind of been delving into like something to do with ancient Greeks. But yeah, you're actually being called to act from this wisdom that you already have. So it should be kind of, you're definitely being pushed towards learning more. And also you should be being kind of propelled towards more kind of esoteric things in your life. You know, like maybe you've been kind of pushed recently, like maybe you're like, I don't really enjoy what I'm doing for a job, like I would much rather, and this is not really esoteric, but it's more philanthropic, like, you know, maybe I would rather work for a charity. Or, but you know, maybe you're happy in your job, but like in your spare time you're being pushed towards more esoteric things, like maybe you're getting more into the tarot, you know, maybe you're getting more into like meditation, maybe you're getting into like journaling or how to talk to your spirit guides, or more practical things, you know, but thinking outside the box, like gardening or creating art or something like this. I'm just going to reshuffle these because I feel like there was a lot that came out, Aquarius. What else for Aquarius, please? Let's just get one from this deck, Spirit. What else for Aquarius, please? Thank you. Okay, you have blue. Activate your healing power. Excuse me, Taurus had this one. I think it was Taurus. It's also a number 10 card. So it seems to me like you're kind of... excuse me, my throat. It's interesting, my throat started just as I picked this up, because this is blue, the color of the throat chakra. But I feel like you're kind of awakening. You're coming through a period of like awakening, and you're closing down like old cycles, old chapters, like old ways of thinking. Your healing power may well be to do, you have some kind of natural innate healing power, and it's to do with what you know. I think Gemini and Libra had a very similar reading, which doesn't surprise me, but I think Gemini in particular had a similar reading. But your healing is something to do with what you know. And it could be something to do with communication, like maybe you're a writer, maybe you're going to start a blog, maybe you're particularly good at public speaking, maybe you're going to be a teacher, maybe you're going to start a YouTube channel, maybe you're going to be a counselor, or something that involves communication. I can't think of any more off the top of my head at the moment. Like a life coach would be another one. But there's something to do, your healing power, you have some kind of innate healing power, and it's something to do with speaking or writing or some kind of communication. And also, you know, I would say like communication in kind of any form of text, which can also refer to art, right? Like that's another form of text, you know, or like creating media in some way. So like maybe you kind of make small movies or make short movies or something. Or you make memes. Even like a meme would be some form of communication, you know. You have the 5 of Pentacles. You needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts. Okay, so it's not about that one. So you have the 5 of Pentacles here, and it's come out underneath this giraffe. Aspire to higher knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so you may be feeling kind of alone at the moment, Aquarius. Like maybe you're going through a bit of a spiritual awakening and you've kind of lost a lot of friends, because that's what happens. That's a thing that happens, because it happened to me. But you may be spending a lot of time alone, because generally what happens when you go through an awakening is you kind of realize that you don't actually have anything in common with the people that you used to hang out with. You know, because you don't really, like, I don't know, for example, like you don't want to drink anymore, you don't want to smoke weed anymore, or like, you know, you don't want to talk about basic stuff anymore, you want to talk about more esoteric stuff, and you feel like the stuff that maybe you've been studying, the stuff that you've been looking into, like you couldn't really bring it up in conversation with the people that you're kind of with. So maybe at some point you were just like, well, what's the point then? And you found yourself growing further and further away from those people. But actually, if that's the case, it's because you're supposed to be connecting more to your spirit guide and like your ancestors and your angels and like the universe at the moment. Okay, that's what you're supposed to be doing at the moment. Doesn't mean that you can't hang out with new people. You know, maybe you're going to find, you will find eventually, right? You will find people who are more of your vibration. Okay, but if you are feeling alone at the moment, ask your guides to come in, you know, ask your angels to come in. You know, maybe it's time for you to start reading about how to interact with your guide, because then you literally, you will literally never be alone again. Like, it'll be like having some kind of smothering ant around you all the time. They're always there, always nagging you. Like, just make no mistake, you're never alone, all right? They're always around. Okay, what else for... Also, I want to say, if you are finding like you're kind of in that place where you're feeling a bit alone, you know, maybe you haven't gone through your awakening yet, maybe this is like a warning, not a warning, but like a heads up, you know, maybe this is something you're about to go through. They're saying you're feeling alone because you're kind of with the wrong people. Like, you're not... If you're not fitting in somewhere, it's because you're not meant to be there, right? Like, if you're around people that are talking about really basic stuff all the time, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're wanting to talk about more, you know, stuff that you've learned, and you know, or just you're just bored basically with what's around you, it might be time for you to start studying, you know. And I don't mean studying like get the books out and don't have any fun, but you know, branching out into like learning about, you know, the universe, and like, you know, maybe learning about something to do with healing, or maybe you should just, you know, randomly like buy a set of oracle cards, because often it's the way into something else, you know. Maybe there's because I feel like they're saying if you're feeling alone where you are, it's kind of because you're not, like, if you're surrounded by people and you're feeling alone, it's because you're not really supposed to be there, you know, because you're supposed to be learning, and that will bring you into your soul tribe. And also, yeah, you do have like, I forgot to even talk about that message, you have live joyfully. That's funny that came out. The dolphin, it actually says live joyfully in the present. So I don't know if you're focusing too much on the past or you're worrying about the future. Guilty. But they're saying like live, like, you know, try and live more in the present, because that's actually when you're going to be happy. Because if you're always thinking about the past, you're thinking like, it's almost like a victim mentality kind of, when, or it's like you're feeling guilty about something that you've done, or you're feeling like you should have done more so that things, you know, worked out better, right? But it's done, it's in the past, you can't change it, right? Like, there's no point in blaming yourself or anyone else in the past. All you can do is learn the lessons and move on and apply it to your future. And if you're worrying about the future, then, you know, you're never really going to be happy, because you can all you can do is prepare for the future, like in little bits. But you know, if you're constantly worrying about it, like it's just always something that can never be achieved, and you'll never actually be happy, right? So you have the Four of Swords clarifying that dolphin card, live joyfully in the present. Insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. So yeah, it's time. I feel like maybe you're kind of stressing out about either the past or the future, and they're saying like, you know, it's time to kind of live in the present, you know, have more fun in the present. Also, you may really need some more sleep, like your sleeping pattern may be really messed up. You may be working yourself into the ground, you might need some time off. You might just be super stressed because you're always worrying about the future, you know, especially if you've come into this place where you're kind of leveling up. Because often when that happens, things tend to feel like they're going a bit tits up. It kind of feels like you're losing control, but you're actually not. You're being guided towards the place where you're supposed to be. It's just that when you like when you're kind of a control freak, like I was a control freak. I still kind of am, but I work on that a lot now, right? I don't let that rear its ugly head too much. But when you're a control freak, you know, you tend to have like, okay, so this is my plan for the future and I'm going to achieve it this way, and then once I've done that, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then in comes the spiritual awakening. And the spiritual awakening is like, no, baby, you're not doing any of that shit. We've got a plan for you. So they kind of start pushing you gradually more and more to what, like, away from what you were going to do and towards what you're supposed to be doing. And it feels like, oh no, like I'm losing control, like things are going wrong. But it's not. You're just being pushed towards something else. So if that's something that you need to work on, you know, meditation would be good for you to help you live in the present more, you know. And if you're really bad at meditation, even if you can do it for 5 minutes at a time to start off with, or, you know, make a choice, you know, instead of like just watching crap on TV, like read a book, right? Or go for a walk if it's not raining, or you know, like cook something but without the TV on in the background, right? Okay, what else you got? Oh my god, wow, you have the Ace of Cups here. These seem to want to come out together. And I'm going to take it, yeah, okay. Oh, you definitely have something to do with speaking. Or like communication in some way, because underneath this blue, activate your healing power, that I was saying about like the speaking, you have the King of Swords, the King of Air. Speak your mind with confidence. So you definitely have something to do with speaking here. It also has impartial, professional, diplomatic, so there could be something like that for you. The King of Swords can be, in terms of career, he could be military, he could be police. He can also be something to do with like the justice system, you know, like a barrister or something like that, or a lawyer. Or something where you're using your mind a lot. But I feel like for you guys, it's something where you're communicating in some way. Also says seeking out professional advice, so there may be something where you're giving advice, some kind of healing advice to people. I feel like this is what you're being pushed towards, but it says speak your mind with confidence, because you're meant to, whatever the job is, you're meant to communicate something to the masses, and it's going to be very healing for people. That is your healing power, speaking, some kind of communication, or writing, or like I said, something to do with like making media. So you have the Goat, act from your innate wisdom, and you have the Ace of Cups here, and you have the Fool. Okay, just give me a second here. Yeah, this is to do with like spiritual growth here. You're having to take a leap of faith. There could also be a new love coming in for some of you, okay? Yeah, because you have the Ace of Cups here with the Fool. So it could be a new love coming in for you here. If that's the case, you're gonna have to take a leap of faith towards this person, okay? And you're gonna have to, in this case, about this new person coming in, you're gonna have to use your intuition, not logic, okay? Because maybe logically you're going, I don't know about this, I've been screwed over many times in the past, it might just be better for me to be on my own, I don't know if I can trust this person, I'm gonna make a list about good qualities and bad qualities, or something like this. Or you know, I'm gonna creep on them for a year on Facebook or whatever and see what they're up to. No, you're gonna have to go with your gut instinct on this person, all right? You're also being called to like develop your intuition rather than always relying on logic. So for some of you, there's a new love coming in, okay? And it will be, I want to say it's new, all right? Because it's either someone new, or it's a new phase in an existing relationship. It could be for some of you something to do with a Capricorn, because you have the Goat here, okay? There could be like a resurgence of a relationship with a Capricorn that you would have to use your intuition about, okay? But they're saying there's some kind of, if it's about love, there's some kind of new aspect of love coming in here that you would have to take a leap of faith on, okay? And it may be slightly unexpected. Also for those of you like not interested in love, and also in general, like for those, even if you are taking that to be about your love life, but in general, the Ace of Cups indicates like spiritual growth, enhanced intuition. So you're really being called to listen to your intuition here, like about your direction and about what it is you're supposed to do, because I feel like you're being called to use this skill, this like speaking or writing or whatever it is, this skill. I feel like you're being called to use it. So listen to your intuition, all right? Because with the Fool here, yeah, you're gonna have to take a leap of faith about something. And like I said, it may be slightly unexpected, but it's something to do with, I believe it will be something to do with following your dreams. This is all blue. This section of the reading here is all blue. It's definitely something to do with communication. So you might want to work on your throat chakra, Aquarius. I will try and remember to leave a really good throat chakra meditation in the description box. I don't get paid for it, it's not mine. Like in case you're like, oh, this bitch is plugging someone. It's just one that I've used a lot, and you just put it on at night time. So it doesn't, you don't have to do anything, which I think is great, because I'm terrible for discipline and stuff. I need things like that where you can just put it on at night and leave it. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is with the Fool here, the dreamer, it could be an Aries, or it could be an yeah, it could be an Aries. But the thing is with the dreamer, sometimes when these whatever this new opportunity is coming towards you, and I feel like for some of you it's love and an opportunity to express yourself. For those of you not looking for love, it's the opportunity to express yourself in some way. You might have to, the Fool talks about kind of having to adapt a little bit, you know, because maybe it's going to come towards you in a way that you weren't expecting. Excuse me, Aquarius. Or maybe it's going to come towards you like kind of out of the blue, right? And you know, you're going to have to kind of think like, oh, is this what I want? Like, do I want to do this? And maybe it's not quite, because like I said, I feel like maybe you had other plans and then you're kind of being pushed towards this other thing. And I feel like you're your intuition is like screaming at you, like, do this other thing, do the other thing. And then your logic kicks in and your logic's like, no, we had a plan. We're going to stick to the plan. So you may have to adjust your plans a little bit to accommodate whatever this is coming in. But you definitely have some kind of opportunity coming in here to do with like communication, and also for some of you, you have a love coming in. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? Oh my god. I'm just gonna take that top one. So you have, it's another blue card, all right. And it's actually a number 3 card, so it's about growth. 3s are always about growth. You have raindrops. Take a chance on them. So, all right, for some of you, this is about, okay, there's 2 things here, okay? For those of you not interested in love, it's not going to be about love, okay? But for those of you who are interested in love, I feel like you have 2 opportunities coming towards you. I feel like you have someone coming towards you and they're saying take a chance on this person, okay? But I also feel like you have something to do with, it might be your career, or it might just be like an opportunity that comes, sorry Aquarius, my camera cut out, like something extra to do in the evening, like someone like approaches you to be like, look, we have a space on this like blog, would you like to write a blog? For example, right? Or like maybe you're gonna, I don't know, get a Twitter page and like start giving advice on Twitter or something like that, for example, right? Or it could be a complete career change, in which case, like, I don't know, maybe you're gonna get into teaching, maybe you're gonna get into, I don't know, maybe you're gonna write a book, maybe you're gonna start a YouTube channel, maybe you're gonna be a counselor. But they're saying take a chance, all right? I would say take a chance on this person, whoever they are, and take a chance on this new opportunity coming in. And again, I just want to say at the bottom of the deck here, you have, I'm not too interested in the writing, but see how she's got her mouth covered up? I really feel like you really should work on your throat chakra. Because I feel like there's things that you have to say to the world. This is not just about this person. Maybe you have things to say to this person, but this is about, you have things to say to the world. Like, you have relevant input to say to the world, and you know it would really make a difference, and you're not doing it because like you're scared of what people would say, or you're scared of what, like, the impact it would have on your career or whatever. But this could also be about speaking your mind to people around you, like your family or your friends. You know, I feel like you really have to start speaking up. But listen, I really feel that you have some kind of healing power surrounding communication, all right? It might start off with you speaking your mind to your family and friends, but I believe that that is what you're supposed to do here. One of the things you're supposed to do, I believe you have some kind of job in communication. That's also the thing about the throat chakra. When it's blocked, it becomes very difficult for you to communicate your needs. So maybe you're not communicating your needs enough, because look, this is all blue. Or like, you try and be diplomatic. You know, maybe you try and always kind of, because I know Aquarius like are very diplomatic. You always try and walk that line, right? You don't want to piss people off. You know, you don't want to be on either side, but you know, you are allowed to have an opinion, right? And I just feel like what you have to say is very, very relevant. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? Anything else for Aquarius in this deck? Wow. Okay, you have we're gonna take this? Okay. Right. So I just want to talk about this one that popped up first, because we're just going to talk about it and then put it back. So this is a number 10 as well, and you have grey. Endings are inevitable. But see how she's got that little boat coming towards her? I feel like you have some kind of opportunity coming towards you, because the boats in tarot are usually an opportunity. And see how she's reacting? It's like you don't expect it. Like, you don't expect it, but when it comes, you're like, oh, I didn't even think about doing that. Like, oh, that's exciting. And it's like, see how it's riding on the clouds? So it's like it's a gift from spirit, you know? And I feel like it's going to come out of nowhere, but it may involve you leaving something behind to do this. So like, maybe you will be changing jobs, or like, whatever this is, like, it brings in a whole new cycle for you. Like, it's something to do with like you're closing down an old cycle so that you can step into something new. We're actually going to keep that. I know what I said, but we're keeping that out. And I think you're going to be very excited by it. Just don't don't overthink it, Aquarius, okay? And you have number 1, the princess. You can be your own knight. I love her outfit. Isn't that the cutest outfit? I mean, you couldn't wear it in Scotland because you would freeze to death, but it's cute. And I wish I could grow my hair that long. And you have 45. The throne, your potential is endless. So yeah, the number 1 card, obviously, like this princess, you can be your own knight. Like, it talks about not needing anyone to go ahead and do what you want to do, you know? So maybe there's something that you've been wanting to do, and it's almost like you've been kind of waiting for approval from people around you to do it, you know? Like maybe you're kind of almost waiting for approval from people around you to speak your mind. Or yeah, it's something like that. I feel like that's like you're waiting for approval. But they're saying you don't need to wait for anyone's approval. You go ahead and do what you're being drawn to here. You don't need anyone. Like maybe you have like, I don't know, maybe you've been running this past like your mom or your dad or your friends, and they're like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. You know, like, oh, if you start a Twitter page, like you'll get a lot of hate, or like, you know, like what if your job finds out about it and then they're all like, oh my God, like we're gonna fire you. You know, don't listen to what people are telling you, because people generally tend to operate from a place of fear, right? So they're gonna kind of tell you like, oh no, don't do that, and they have the best interest, your best interest at heart, right? They don't want to see you fail, they don't want to see you get hurt, but at the same time it's operating from a place of fear. And this is something to do with your innate intuition. You have a really strong pull to whatever this is, like this career or this opportunity that you're going towards. So you do what you feel drawn to do and don't wait for anyone's approval or validation, because they're saying your potential is endless. I'm actually going to read the book for that one because she says it in such a good way. At risk of sounding cliche, you can do anything you put your mind to. You are a mighty queen or king who is complex enough to be both gentle and valiant, just and magnificent, or any combination you should ever long for. The reason that they tell you you cannot have it all is because they are afraid you will become even more dangerous than you already are. See, I feel like it may well be something to do, because that's the second card you've had about diplomacy. And you are very diplomatic. You do try and walk the line, right? You don't take sides. You like justice. You like things to be fair. So I feel like maybe there's something here as well in terms of whatever this is. It's like you're going to be walking this line and doing something like very diplomatic, very impartial, like very professional, but people might seek out your advice in some way, you know? Like a judge. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? You have strengthening bonds. Okay. You really need to strengthen your bonds with the higher realms. Like, this is the Ace of Pentacles here. See how she's going through that tunnel? Well, it's not a tunnel, but you know, like the tunnel of blossom trees. I can't remember what they're called, but it's like you're just at the start of this journey. And even if you have been involved in spirituality for a long time and you're like very in touch with your guide, I feel like you have more to do. You have different beings to get in touch with. You may very well be a channel. Because air signs do tend to have that, like they tend to be able to access kind of like almost like Edgar Case, right? Like they, not so much a channel, but like you tend to be able to access the Akashic records very easily, right? Because you're up there, the information's there, you know, for you to kind of access it. I mean, you may well be a channel, okay? But I feel like there's just this information that's there for you to take. So I feel like it would be very easy for you to write about it or to tell people about it. But you would have to strengthen your bonds with like your guide, for example. I feel like this may be a thing, like they're telling you like you need to meditate more, you need to strengthen your bond with your guide. Like, you know, what is their name? How do you know that they're around you? How do you know that information is coming from your guide and not something that you've made up in your head? Do you know what I mean? Because it may be time for you to get into that. Because it's when you do that, like when you start strengthening the bond with like your higher self, that's when it's going to be very easy for you to access this information, and then in turn I feel like you're going to write about it, or you're going to speak about it. I also feel like whatever this is you're about to do, it's about to lead you to your soul family. Like the more that you kind of release control and start kind of getting into this like spiritual side of yourself, like kind of giving into it, like maybe meditating more or just listening to that inner voice. Excuse me, I feel like the more it's going to bring you in out of the cold, the less lonely that you're going to feel. And I feel like you're going to find your soul tribe that way. Because you're just at the beginning of the journey here. Like, see how far she's got to, it's actually 2 tunnels, see? See how they're both standing in 2 tunnels, right? They're both like right at the start of like a doorway. So I feel like you're about to enter this doorway. Like you're about to go through this doorway. Of really, really being able to pull down this higher knowledge and wisdom. And sometimes they'll just put the information in your head and you'll be like, how the fuck did I know that? And then you'll go and Google it and it's true and you're like, what the hell? And then other times you'll be guided to, you know, you'll be thinking about something, and if you say, you know, you get to know your guide, or even if you just say like, oh, you know, angels or like spirit guides, like, I would really like to know about the reason for blah. And then suddenly you'll be drawn to a particular book, or you'll be drawn to a particular documentary, and that's, you know, there the information will be. So it's like the stronger that you develop this connection with your guide or your angels, whatever you want to call them, the more access you'll have to this knowledge. And I think you've always felt kind of alone. Even when you've been surrounded by friends and family, I think you've always felt kind of alone. And it's because you've kind of been with the wrong people. Not to say that, like, obviously your family is your loving family, like, you know, you don't get rid of your friends, of course, just because, like, that's a difficult sentence to finish. But, you know, there's no need to get rid of your friends or family if you don't want to, right? Well, obviously don't get rid of your family, right? But there's no need to get rid of your friends, but it may be time. Like, if you've been feeling out in the cold, you know, if you've been in that situation where you're sitting at a table and you're surrounded by 6 or 7 friends and you're like, I have never felt so alone in my life. It may be time for you to end those friendships and move on, because you're feeling very alone. And it's because you don't belong there. That's only for those of you feeling alone, okay? Like, and you know, if you get it, you get it, right? If you don't, then it's, the message is not for you. That particular message is not for you. But there's a particular level of spirituality where you get to a level where you cannot do small talk anymore. You just can't do it. You can do it for very, very short periods of time, but you literally have nothing to say because you're not involved in it anymore. Like, you're not watching the Kardashians, or you're not watching, like, I don't know, the latest thing on Netflix, or you're not, I don't know, like, you haven't seen the latest movie. You know what I mean? So when people are talking about it, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I can't participate in this conversation. You know what I mean? Okay, you have, okay. Wow, you're definitely getting nagged here. You have the 8 of Pentacles, dedicated effort. And it's come out underneath live joyfully in the present and this 4 of Swords. So you need to put more effort into living in the present, okay? You need to put more effort into meditation. You need to put more effort into making sure you're getting enough sleep, making sure that you're getting enough time off from work, making sure you're not stressed, because you cannot get into a place where this knowledge will come through when your head is a big cluster fart of crap that you've been thinking about, you know, relentlessly, when you've got like the TV on, when the music's on in the background as well, and like, you know, you're thinking about like this thing, and you're thinking about that thing, and you're thinking about the other thing. Because the only thing, like, you know, people talk about meditation in a very complicated way, but all it is emptying out your brain, basically, so that the important thoughts can come in. That's literally all it is, because, you know, we live in such a busy world, and they keep us so busy, you know, and you have so much to stress about, like, oh, you know, the bills, and like that thing that I saw on TV that was really stressful, and like, where is humanity headed, and like, oh, the car's fucked, and like, you know, this person pissed me off in work. So if you're not taking time to meditate during the day, or at least taking a little bit of time for quiet time during the day, it means when you go to bed, your brain is just like all over the place and you can't sleep, right? But if you're taking little bits of time during the day, especially if you can meditate, just to let the crap release itself from your brain, then your true guidance will come through. And also you'll be able to sleep better. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? See how it's light as well? Wherever they're taking you like somewhere where you're going to be a lot happier. You're walking towards the light. Not in that way, you know, please don't walk towards the light in that way, Aquarius, but you are walking towards something that is your destiny. Like, this is your true path now that you're going towards. And it might be very far removed from what you're doing now, you know. Okay, you have fire, warrior, passion, fearlessness. So this new person coming in, or this person doesn't have to be a new person, like it could be someone you already know that's coming back in for like round two, fight. They could be an Aries, okay, or it could be someone new that's in Aries, but you have to be fearless now, because there's some kind of, I feel like this new, I keep saying new, I feel like this person coming in, you may have to take a leap of faith with this person and be like fearless, you know, and be very, you know, you're gonna have a lot of passion for it. But there's also this new like career or hobby opportunity coming in that someone's going to offer you, and you're going to have to be fearless about it. You're going to really have to take a leap of faith towards this, and really listen to your intuition, because your intuition is going to tell you whether you should do it or not, you know. But you are a warrior, Aquarius. You can do this, all right? Yeah, you're definitely like growing spiritually, and your intuition is going to be very, very enhanced. And also it could be that could be part of this new opportunity that's coming towards you, because sometimes Spirit talks about a new opportunity and you think it's going to be literally someone reaching out and offering you a job, but then you may notice that actually something of a spiritual aspect has become really clear for you. Like, you may in fact notice that you're a channel, or you may in fact notice that you have this random information in your head that you're not sure how you know, but you feel a need to share it with someone, right? And that is you channeling. That's like information like coming down from the Akashic records just for you, so you can channel it to other people. But don't be scared of it. Okay, whatever this is that comes towards you, some of you might find out you're a medium. You know, you might start seeing things. Don't be scared of it, okay? And you have the Mantis beings. Enigma, elusive, sensitive. And it's come out underneath all this blue, like the healing power and the King of Swords. Just before I get the book for this one, I want to say, like, the Mantis beings, you could be related to the Mantis beings as, like, you know, some of you may have like starseed origins there, but they tend to be overseers. They often appear when you're having a spiritual awakening, like when you properly are getting into it. You know, when you start meditating and you start getting visions and you start seeing things. You may well find, you may see them, but you may not see them. Doesn't mean they're not there, but they may be coming in to check up on you just to see how things are going with you, because they like to do that, because they're kind of overseers. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you have enigma, elusive, sensitive, altered states of consciousness, high vibrations, open-minded, foresight, overseer, movement, observation, matriarchal, manager. They're also telepathic. You may find that you are so empathic and so sensitive to what other people are thinking that it's almost like you're reading their mind. But you're not actually reading their mind, you're reading their aura. Like, you're reading their emotions and things, but it's almost like you're reading their mind. It may actually shock people. You may also have like a little bit of, I don't want to say telepathy going on. You could have a little bit of telepathy going on, but I feel like it's telepathy in the sense that, like I said, you're kind of reading vibrations and things like that. So, for example, like there's something here to do with, like, you could be a very, very good counselor, or you could be a very, very good, like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with counselor for now, and you can apply it to whatever you want. But like a counselor, for example, you know, if you're sitting with someone and they're kind of reluctant to talk to you, you may very well be able to understand what they're feeling at the time. And if you had said that out loud to them, they would almost think you were telepathic, right? But you're picking up on like their small movements, their vibrations. You're picking up on like their aura, right? So that may make you very well suited to some kind of healing in that capacity, or like a teacher, like working with small children, you know, because often children don't want to tell you what's going on, especially in school, but like you can almost kind of read the situation and almost like in a telepathic way. So in this way, you can give people comfort that they wouldn't be able to get from anywhere else, because you know exactly what to say to them to make them, sorry, my camera cut out, like you know exactly what to say to them to make them feel more comfortable, to kind of draw out these emotions. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something that you would be very, very good at. You're also about to enter into like a higher state of consciousness here, basically. Like once you really start talking to your guides and like, you know, sitting with yourself and allowing meditation, because you may almost be blocking it out, you know, because I blocked it out for a long time, just because I had some blocks in that department, and also because I really don't like sitting for long periods of time because I get really bored. But I think you're going to be very surprised what comes through once you start sitting with yourself and allowing the information to come through. You may also get into some kind of like, you may become some kind of manager or something like this. Yes. So I feel like that's what I needed to tell you from that deck, Aquarius. See, you may also be very sensitive as well, and you are a bit like, this is quite an Aquarius card because you are quite an enigma. You know what I mean? You don't often tell people what you're thinking because I feel like often you kind of like to keep it to yourself, right? And you can be a little bit elusive. You know, Geminis are more like blah blah blah. Like we don't actually tell you what's going on, but we're certainly more like, we'll talk a lot more shit. I think we have less self-control than an Aquarius, but I feel like Aquarius, like you guys have a lot of self-control, but I feel like you are very sensitive. So there may have been a lot, you know, that you're kind of keeping to yourself, where people have actually pissed you off, or people have hurt your feelings and you're not telling them. So it may be that at the moment you're kind of almost learning to speak up for yourself and be like, look, no, that actually kind of hurt my feelings. Like, you can't say that to me. Like, that's, do you know what I mean? Like, that's really rude. Instead of just keeping it all in and like not telling anyone and being a bit kind of elusive about it. Because this may actually be what helps you connect with other people, is kind of like loosening that, you know, speaking up for yourself. Because I never used to speak up for myself, and I found that it just made me kind of more resentful of people. Do you know what I mean? Because I would be with people and I'd be like, oh my god, like that person just really like hurt my feelings, but I'm not going to say anything because like I don't want to hurt their feelings, and I don't want to cause like a big to-do, and like my feelings are probably not that important anyway. Like, I've probably just been too sensitive and misunderstood it. But actually, once you start saying to people like, what did you say? Like, you can't, did you mean that? And actually it turns out most of the time they didn't even mean it, you know, or it turns out like they're nervous talking to you or something, and it actually helps you connect with people a lot more. I just want to, oh, just literally dropped half the deck on the floor. I just want to say as well, see how this guy is holding a cup? I want to say there's some kind of opportunity that's going to be offered to you. And it's to, I want to say, yeah, it is actually like some kind of physical opportunity that's going to come towards you at some point. Like, to do with you communicating, and it's going to be very healing. And I feel like that's what you're being prepared for at the moment. Hold on a second, Aquarius. Sorry, I was just retrieving all the cards I dropped on the floor. Okay. So you have courage and creativity is rewarded with abundant resources. Okay, so definitely whatever this opportunity is, take a chance on it, okay? Because they're saying having the courage to do that is going to be rewarded. Like, this is actually going to, looks like you're going to make quite a bit of money from it. Or, you know, at the very least, like, you're going to be very, very stable. Like, it's going to offer you something very stable. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. So definitely follow your intuition here. And I feel like this is, I feel like maybe, I feel like it's almost like you've been waiting for permission to do this, like to get into spirituality, or to like start speaking up for yourself, or like to write that blog that you want to do. But they're saying just do it, like go for your guidance. Like, don't, you know, you don't need permission from anyone else. You don't need to wait for a sign. Your intuition is the sign. You know, if it's something that you're thinking about all the time, it probably means that you should do it, right? Unless it's like murder. That probably means you should get help. But if it's like, you know, you're thinking to yourself like, damn, I should really write a blog, you should probably be writing a blog. Or like if you're thinking to yourself like, I should really start a YouTube channel, you should probably be doing that. And again, look, there's another little tunnel there. I feel like you're just kind of at the start of a journey here. But they're saying like, go through the tunnel, Aquarius, do it, go through the tunnel. Oh, I had an extra deck I wanted to use as well. I know these are long readings, but you know what, like, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to watch them all at once, right? And what needs to come out will come out. Well, that's interesting. You have destiny. So whatever this is that you're about to do is like destiny, Aquarius. It's like been predetermined, like you're supposed to be doing this. And also this is a crown chakra card, so you're getting a lot you're getting a lot of guidance coming in through your crown chakra. Like, you're getting a lot of messages coming in. Okay, destiny, black and white. Black is the shade that demands to be taken seriously. As it absorbs all the colors, black emits the warm, powerful energy of the protector. Unlike black, white is isolated. Together they balance and create. You will be guided by your angels to do what is best for you and all concerned. Okay, it says, together we are stronger than alone. So it could be something to do with a person as well for some of you. Take a risk. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? True love. Taking a stand. Radical thinking, ability to change. So for some of you, like whoever this person is, and you're gonna know, alright? Or maybe you've not met them yet for some of you, but they're saying like, take a chance on this person because you're actually going to be much stronger with this person next to you. And with the black and white, like this person could be, you know, like your opposite. You know, like the yin to your yang. But it looks like you're having to, it's something, as well as the love, whatever this opportunity is coming in, it might be kind of radical thinking for you. Like you might have to take a stand in order to do it. Like it might be something very different than what you're used to. Impartiality. So this is another crown chakra card. And this card's really interesting. Hold on a second. This is not a time to personally shine, but to allow others to come forth with their gifts. You may find yourself in the role of a neutral advisor. See, there's something here, like you're supposed to be like a counselor or like a judge or like, maybe not, well, judge is pretty hard, but like, but yeah, something where you're kind of like neutral, like, yeah, it says hold the space for others to find their own answers and being unbiased. Yeah, and it says uplifted communication as well. So I feel like there's something here in your future where you're going to be like, it's something to do with communication, and it's something to do with like being diplomatic, listening. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? Drop it so far away. You have hydration. Okay, so that's, I think that's maybe a little side message, Aquarius, for you to make sure you're drinking enough water. Like make sure you're actually taking time to like drink water and not just tanking coffee all day because like you're busy. But there is some there's a message here because this guy's holding a cup and you have hydration. It's like when you really start to open your throat chakra and speak your mind with confidence, it's gonna make you feel more alive, like it's gonna hydrate your soul. And whatever this opportunity is that's coming towards you, it's going to hydrate your soul. And it's going to hydrate other people's souls. You have happy. Yeah, whatever this is, it's going to make you very happy. This person coming towards you is going to make you very happy, and this opportunity coming towards you is going to make you very happy. But you have to be brave and you have to take the opportunity. Oh my god, I can't believe you just had that. You have exhaustion has just come out. So this has come out under live joyfully in the present, the Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Also, you're working too hard. I can't believe I missed that before. Yeah, we're going to take that one too. Refresh. I can't believe I missed that before. You're working way too hard. You are working too hard. I don't know what you're working on, but you need to rest. You need to make more time in your schedule for time off and for sleep. Eight of Pentacles here, like you're working way too hard. You're exhausted. You're literally, you might actually be physically like approaching the point of burnout and being physically exhausted. But you need to make more of a dedicated effort to live joyfully in the present, for meditation, time off, more sleep, and relief from stress, because it's going to feel like a rebirth when you do that. You are exhausted. Okay, let's get one more from this deck. No, I'm going to go into a different deck. See, this may be like, you may be feeling kind of blue, or you may be feeling kind of depressed, or you may be feeling kind of empty, or like you're running on empty or something, or just everything seems a bit bleak, but it's because you're working yourself into the ground. Thank you. Oh, who had that? Did Capricorn? I think Capricorn had this one. Maybe some of you guys have Capricorn in your chart, and it's come out underneath all of this stuff about people here. So I think you're feeling kind of alone. Like maybe you're actually physically alone, like you've been through this awakening and you've got no friends. Billy no mates over here, myself, or like you're surrounded by people and you feel alone, but you have curiosity here. See life through the curious eyes of a child, and you will discover a never-ending source of happiness and excitement. Curiosity keeps you alive, interested, and interesting. The angels are inviting you to be curious about yourself. Start exploring who you are and you will grow personally and spiritually. Be interested in people and you will discover an eternal source of fascination. Be curious about the wonderful universe in which you live, about the angels themselves and their role in the divine plan. The radiance of your delight in life will illuminate you. Affirmation, I explore the wonder of life. See, I just feel like there's a connection here with you learning, like you opening yourself up to your guides and learning new things about like the universe and about like your role in the universe and about what's going on. I feel like you're going to find your soul tribe, like the people who make you happy, the people you're supposed to be with. Also, like I said, if you're feeling kind of empty, you don't necessarily, and you know, you're pretty happy with your friends and your family or whatever, like it could just be that you need to open yourself up to like information coming in from the universe, because that's what's making you feel discontented. That's what's making you feel like you're missing something. It's because you have this innate interest. That's your job. Like you have this innate desire to find out about the universe and you're kind of blocking it. So I feel like it'll make you feel a lot better to like explore higher knowledge and wisdom, you know. I feel like it'll bring you out of this kind of funk and like maybe feeling alone or whatever, and it'll, yeah, for some of you it'll like lend itself towards finding a new soul tribe if that's what you want. So I'm going to leave it there, Aquarius. I hope this was a useful reading. I hope you enjoyed it and it resonated with you. It was such a pleasure to read for you. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for me. If you feel called to do that, I would appreciate it very much. And many, many blessings, Aquarius. Love and light.